Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Real Film Talk. My name is Braunlich. Now sit back, grab some snacks, and enjoy the review. Today, we will take a look at the latest movie featuring man's best friend and an unlikely friendship. Hey, I think I've seen this one before. We'll be watching Arthur the King. Here is my reaction for the trailer. Hope we're ready for some laughs, some fun, because hey, a movie about a dog always goes well, right? Right? Please tell me I'm right. This is Arthur the King.
Come on, Arthur. This is our time. We all know anything can happen out there. Sometimes we feel lost. We push.
Hi, doggy.
We suffer. We keep going. That makes all the difference. Hey, what happened to you, boy? You don't look so good. Meatball? Look, somebody likes my meatballs. Hey, Paw Patrol, we got a race to win.
Just remember, Michael, this race doesn't define you.
I raced
Yeah, I
for
wonder what the
19
message is
years.
going to be.
This is my last chance to win. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the amazing race.
Over the next 10 days, these athletes will cross 400 miles climbing, biking, and kayaking.
That dot is Daddy.
Go, Daddy, Dad.
Let's talk and get the meatballs to 3 days, 200 miles ago. Leave the stupid dog and let's go. Come on. Move, dumb dog.
Little Timmy fell on the well. Oh, that's actually a lot worse.
Can't believe I almost walked right off that cliff. Extra meatballs for you, my friend. He's hurting. What do you think he went through before he met us?
Whatever it wasn't good.
How the hell did he get all the way from here to there while we were on bikes and zip lines and running and climbing?
He must have wings we don't know
I feel like
about.
if you climb up a mountain with the bike on your back, then that's kind of, it looks like it would hurt.
I need a bigger bucket.
Team Broad Rail has traveled over 200 miles, and they found a companion.
Daddy has a dog?
What have you done?
Classic line. What have you done?
Yeah, he's the king.
What'd you do this time, Arthur?
Arthur the King.
Hey, that's the name of the movie.
How's he doing?
He's been through so much. This dog needs a vet. I don't want you to hurt anymore.
Okay, now I don't have anything. That's kind of that's
like
pretty
you.
sad.
Famous dog. Looks even worse than the rest of you. Maybe you all deserve each other.
Who are you again?
Buddy. This isn't the route on the map.
It's okay.
Just follow Arthur.
Lead the way, King.
We'll do it for a Scooby stack. Oh wait, that's the wrong dog.
I've never seen anything like this.
Everybody knows about it. Guess what? I'm not a dog person.
Wow, that's the big plot twist. Okay, so yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks decent. It gets my interest because if there's a movie involving a dog, then it does get my attention. One of the main concerns I have, or that I had, was when I was watching the trailer. I'm like, please tell me the dog does not like talk, even if it's like an inner monologue. Thankfully, it doesn't look like that's the case, so I'm pretty excited about that. I'm excited to see Mark Wahlberg in this because normally he's a really good actor.
What? No!
Mostly a really good actor. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this. And I feel like there hasn't been really any movies that focus on adventure racing, which, or if you don't know, is quite possibly one of the most physically demanding sports there is, if not the most. This looks like could be very enjoyable. I will go see this and I will give you my general thoughts. Arthur the King is directed by Simon Jones and stars Mark Wahlberg, Simu Liu, Juliet Rylance, and Natalie Emmanuel. In this movie, an adventure racer adopts a stray dog named Arthur to join him in an epic endurance race. Now, I've only seen one trailer for this movie and I thought, it looks cute. Looks like a nice story about a guy who forms a bond with a dog. Nothing really we haven't seen before, but then again, I'm a sucker for dog movies. Simon Jones is known for his work in The Family Plan, which also stars Wahlberg, the 1996 miniseries Our Friends of the North, and 1984. So he's got a decent record under his belt. I also like movies that are based on true stories if they stay true to the actual story. Do most movies do that nowadays? Not always, but do they make it entertaining? Sure. So I had to have some expectations for this movie. After seeing this movie, my verdict is, it's alright. I think the acting from everyone was well done, especially from Mark Wahlberg. Wahlberg is known for his roles in The Fighter, Boogie Nights, The Departed, and Ted. Seriously, Ted? When we first meet Wahlberg's character, he comes across as brash and arrogant, but he slowly realizes thinks that he should probably put his ego aside. Although there are some choices that are made that are revealed later on that seem quite questionable and makes his character seem more like a jerk. There are also a lot of times where the movie gets intense and rather emotional at times. The scenes with the race are well done, and the cinematography we were given was very nice to look at. There are a few shots involving a zip line that looked very impressive with the cast involved as they go across it, and it looked fun. Almost makes me want to go ziplining. I said almost. The last few minutes definitely pull at your heartstrings. It was an emotional roller coaster, and I kept sitting in the theater hoping things would turn out okay. Unfortunately, this is kind of where the positives end. One of the criticisms I have of this movie is the antagonists, which is basically this team that Wahlberg's team goes up against in the race. There really isn't anything that stands out from them, and nothing really makes me want to root against them. They were very bland and very forgettable. In fact, I don't think they even came across as, like, jerks, just people who love to compete. I personally wish we got to see more interaction between the rival team and Wahlberg's team, just to dive more into the supposed rivalry that they build up a lot throughout the whole thing. Or just cut them out of the whole movie because they really added nothing. I also feel like the story is something we've seen before in any movie involving a sport or a dog. You have the underdog story where they must overcome all these obstacles, and you're thinking, will they make it? Have you seen any other of these kinds of movies? Well, you might know the answer then. One of the other things I wanted to mention is how long it takes for Wahlberg and Arthur to fully interact with each other. Now, to the movie's credit, the runtime is an hour and a half, and it really does not waste time in getting the story going. However, it seemed like we really didn't get a real encounter between Wahlberg's character and the dog until maybe the halfway point of the movie. Now, it does give us some time to experience some exciting scenes involving the race, like if the characters are climbing or riding bikes through the forest, but I think it just took a bit of time for the dog to become a factor in the story. The movie felt like I was watching different movies back to back, where one was a man trying to fulfill his dream of winning just one race, and the other involving a stray dog trying to find his place in the world. That's nice and all, but it didn't really feel like it was a theatrical release. The only time where I thought, now this is a movie that shows in theaters, is when we get to the race part. The movie also tends to fall into the cliche role that critics and audiences might find familiar. For example, you got the main character who always comes close, but always comes up short. He feels like this is his last chance, and he wants to prove not just to himself, but to his family. He also must form a ragtag team featuring a social media influencer, the daughter of a famous adventure racer, and a guy who wants to go on one final race. Well, that's the most character we really get out of these people we're introduced to that we're supposed to care about. There are some confessions revealed later, especially ones that factor the famous liar revealed cliche that I know some of you just love, but some really just came out of nowhere and make some rather questionable decisions as to why they weren't brought up before. I personally didn't mind that too much, as it was just a spur of the moment. Now, does this movie do a good job at splitting fact from fiction? At times it does. However, there are moments that make me think, nah, there's no way that actually happened. But that's just a critic in me, because I personally can't stand when a movie based on real events over-exaggerates the plot just for the sake of entertainment to keep us on the edge of our seats. You want to tell a true story? Honor the story and try to keep it as close to authentic as possible. Now, if you look at this movie and think that it would be something good for the whole family, just a heads up, the third act of the movie might not sit well with kids or anyone who loves animals. Again, it punches you right in the gut and was very emotional. But aside from that, I can say that this movie might be enjoyable for the whole family. In the end, Arthur the King is nothing original, but still quite enjoyable. While we don't get a lot of character development in this, the movie makes up for it by giving us some cool action shots, some nice interactions between some of the characters and Arthur, and a solid message about how you can't let one thing define who you are. Will I see this movie again? Maybe, maybe not, but I was glad I saw it nonetheless. My grade for Arthur the King will be a C+. Thank you all for watching this review. I hope you all enjoyed it. Until next time, this is Will Braunlich, and I will see you at the movies. Save a seat for me.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.